Do I call the member for Werriwa?
Whilst the reform process continues in Burma and there are positive aspects, and on the other hand Human Rights Watch speaks of an uneven reform process and laws not being enforced, laws are being enforced inconsistently. Nevertheless, the manifest main problem facing this country at the moment is the situation of the Rohingya in Rakhine State. And I think it's very important on this particular issue that we do have a voice, because whether it was the first NLD delegation to come to this country and come to the dining room and discuss the issue with us, whether it was Aung San Suu Kyi's performance at the Sydney Opera House, or whether it was a group of Democracy 88 activists who came here in the last parliamentary sitting, we've had a situation where even those people that we associate with about the call for democracy and human rights in Burma have been found somewhat wanting on this issue. There's been clearly a reluctance by the reform forces in Burma to confront the issue fully because of the unpopularity of the situation and, I guess, the controversy. I'm pleased that we do join with the US Congress, which on May 4th, through the intervention of James P. McGovern, Democrat, Massachusetts, resolved to call for the end of the persecution of the Rohingya people, spoke of the need to recognise them as an ethnic group, and spoke of, quote, the situation being dire and deteriorating. It is important, particularly on this issue, that those who have been associated over a long period of time in seeking to diminish the authority of the government in Burma, who are still campaigning for constitutional change, at the same time reiterate that we are absolutely dissatisfied with the situation of the Rohingya. It's not only what happens to them in Burma, it is, as some speakers have indicated earlier, what is happening to them outside once they're expelled. We had a situation where Thai authorities at one stage drove boats into the sea. Refugee claimants were actually forced to be drowned in their waters. We've got a situation where refugee claimants and others in Thailand are being hugely exploited in the prawn industry and the broader aquaculture industry. We've got a situation even in Bangladesh where their religious confreres condemn them in reality to very third-rate conditions. There's no proper camps. People are basically exploited in Bangladesh once expelled from Burma. And indisputably, this question of their definition, their rights in the country, is a concern. The Hindu newspaper of March 30th, 2014 quoted government spokesman Yi Tut as saying, "If they describe themselves as Rohingya, we will not register it." People not having, as in Australia, the right to self-define. They're basically being told they are Bengalis, full stop, or you're not counted. MP Aung Mai Kwai went on to say they will only write down Bengali because Rohingya doesn't exist. And the previous speaker made clear that there's been a Muslim presence, not only the Rohingya, a few other groups as well, in the country for 1,000 years. Yes, there might have been some flow of Muslims into Burma in recent decades because of overpopulation, despite the historic efforts of the Bangladesh government on birth control, but indisputably there's been a strong presence, and it's only since the 1970s that we've seen this very strong Buddhist, chauvinistic kind of move going very strongly against them. We've heard earlier today of restrictions in regards to marriage, in regards to the number of children they can have, and now a contrived attempt in regards to conversions to further restrict them. We have had a situation where in 2012 there have been various estimates about how many people were displaced, but let's just, for the sake of argument, accept the government's position of 50,000. That was accompanied, of course, by uncounted wide variations of death estimates, the destruction of houses, destruction of shops, and that has continued through 2013. Violence in Maktila in March of 2013, knowledge of that, information suppressed. August, the burning of houses and shops. October last, at least 7 people murdered, another 50 in March of 2014. So it's a very sad tale of a lack of intervention by the government to protect these people, in some cases collusion of police in their suppression. It is important that Australia, in giving this foreign aid to the country, is out there campaigning that Médecins Sans Frontières is allowed back into the area, because one of the criticisms is that from Human Rights Watch and others that we can't get information, we're not certain, the government's suppressing information. All these things are important that Australia does exercise its influence on the matter.